na mai na wanake itura riri Ngai wa murathime na thengio ni undu wa roho ucio mwinaguo wa guteithiriria ni marokire marabunja mabati maraikia miramba marahura na mai andu maraima na mai kwao
ngia na nyamwe egwitwo fire response ya na ihenya ni guteithia no uguo andu neighbors marateithirie tondu nakon ndigwetera tureteire fire engine yuke ndingirakorire kindu no uguo neighbors marahotire kuguthuka na ihenya na guka guteithania na ono uri urarizire alarm uri uraugire mbu ni arekire wega muno tondu yatumire andu mamenye kwina gathina na maroka guteithia that is what uguo niguo andu magirwo ni ku react na tiga mari reactire uguo kugerana na maundu mangi ona coco ni arageririe muno tondu ona mwaki na kana hotire gukiria ciana ciothe na araciruta nyumba koguo nikio tai na nguraro muthenya wa muthi ndahota kumarehera kamutu na ndamurehera mirengeti tondu uki mirengeti yothe ni raire ciana itigakiigwe heho na ndamarehera ndumiriri ya kumomiriria ati gutiri undu tocio no happen kwi mundu wothe mundu akae kugia na gwicokia
Kune kaunti ya Kiambu. Ngwatanĩro ya maafitha a ũgima wa mwĩrĩ wa mũingĩ nĩyo KEH na PHPU ni ũrĩtie thirikari ya kaunti ya Laikipia kuongerera namba ya maafitha aya ĩrĩa nĩ nini na gĩkĩro kĩnene kĩringithanio na namba ya arĩa maratangĩkĩra. Ngwatanĩro ĩno yugĩte kaunti ya Laikipia ĩrĩ na maafitha 60 tu arĩa matungatagĩra aikari makĩria ma 600,000.
Maafitha aya ũgima wa mwĩrĩ wa mũingĩ makoragwo mehokeirwo mbere kuhũrana na ũgwati wa gũtuthũka kwa mĩrimũ, kũgacĩrithia ũgima wa mwĩrĩ kũhĩtũkĩra njĩra cia gũthũrima mũingĩ gatene na oho kũheana njanjo. Kuhĩtũkĩra mwandĩki mũnene wa kĩama kĩa maafitha aya nĩwe Brown Achira, maafitha aya makoragwo na wĩigĩrĩrĩki mũnene rũhonge-inĩ rwa ũgima wa mwĩrĩ na harĩ bata rũhonge rũrũ rũgathukĩrwo kĩgĩna na aruti a wĩra a kũigana.
When you see people then falling sick, that is not natural. There are people within the background who are actually working very hard. Last week we were actually celebrating World Environmental Health Day in Machakos, and we were actually asking ourselves, how safe are we? How is our air quality safe? There are people who actually do air quality monitoring, and therefore we must be able to embrace them. Therefore, on this one, I want to say we want to thank the governor for Laikipia for promoting our colleagues. We are aware you have promoted public health officers and technicians in this country, in this county. Comrade Power.
Achira akiuga maafitha aya mangĩkorwo marĩ aiganu, kĩgĩna kĩnene kĩrĩa kĩhũthĩkaga harĩ ũrigiti wa mĩrimũ ĩrĩa ĩngĩgitĩrwo no kĩhũthĩrwo harĩ ũthii wa na mbere kaunti-inĩ, ũndũ ũrĩa ũnyitĩtwo mbaru nĩ patron wa Laikipia George Macharia.
And therefore we are asking you, Bwana Governor, together with the CCM, the same spirit you had by promoting our colleagues. We are also aware that you are in the process of converting the contracts of our colleagues, the 4 colleagues who have been here, who are going to serving on contract to permanent terms. The same spirit you have, we want to urge you to help us recruit close to 100 PHOs, Comrades Power, because since devolution, we have not had counties embracing public health interventions.
O kahinda-inĩ kau atongoria aya nĩ morĩtie aruti wĩra arĩa mandĩkĩtwo na kandarathi maheo wĩra wa gũtũũra nĩguo mekindĩrĩke mũrutĩre-inĩ wa wĩra.
Public health officers to be employed so that the task that we have for prevention of diseases to ease the burden in the hospitals that we be employed. We have those who have retired, those who have died because of either natural attrition or or found greener pastures. Those slots are there, the money is there, and replacement is easily done because the resources is already there. So we are just praying for the purpose of those slots already which have vacant to be filled, because majority of the time we usually find that those slots are usually given to other cadres, because we know how things work in the county, but our prayer is to reinforce those and to make sure those slots are engulfed in our jurisdiction.
Ila tu ningependa kuwarai waweze kutuajiria public health officers wengi. Tukiangalia population yetu ya Laikipia tuko zaidi ya chini tu ya 1,600. So na tunahitaji kuwa na public health officers karibu 150. Kwa sasa tuko 60 na tungeomba tuajiriwe wengine 90, hata kama sio kwa mara moja, lakini tutaratibu tuanze labda na 40 tukisonga mbele.
Maletie hĩndĩ ya gĩthurano kĩa atongoria union ĩno rũhonge rwa Laikipia taũni-inĩ ya Nanyuki. Handũ-inĩ ha Kameme TV kuma gũkũ kaunti-inĩ ya Laikipia, rĩtwa rĩakwa nĩ Paul Mwaniki.
Gatho cia mwanya Fauro kuma Laikipia. Uria wari mucirithania munene David Maraga ni okiriire bunge ya kibũrũri akiuga ikoretwo ikihuthika ta mugambo wa mutongoria wa bũrũri William Ruto kuhitukia mawatho bunge-inĩ ĩno mategwĩciria uria mawatho maya megũkorwo marĩ igũtha inene mwena kuhatĩrĩria mũingĩ wa bũrũri. Akiaria arĩ mwena wa Naivasha County ya Naikuru kĩgomano-inĩ kĩa atumia kĩa United Green Movement, Maraga ni ugĩte no nginyanagia abunge aya maheo wĩyathi wa kwamba gũthũrima mawatho marĩa marathondeka hatarĩ gũthing'ĩrĩrio nĩ president. Mĩario ya Maraga yũkĩte rĩrĩ gũkoretwo na ndereti ĩgiĩ watho wa ũhũthĩri wa nenda ũrĩa wekĩrirwo kĩrore nĩ mũtongoria wa bũrũri William Ruto gatagatĩ-inĩ ka mweri ũyũ, na kũrĩ icunjĩ imwe cia watho ũyũ itwarĩtwo igoti-inĩ nĩ kwagarara ihoto cia mũndũ, ona gũtuĩka igoti nĩ rĩrũgamĩtie kũrutithio wĩra kwa imwe cia icunjĩ ici cia watho ũyũ.
Serikali kuu imeacha kutumia katiba na sasa wananchi hawana tiba, na ndio shule watoto hawasomi, hospitali hakuna matibabu, infrastructure ziko vibaya, na tunapoendelea vile tutaingiza nchi yetu katika dimbwi la huzuni na dimbwi la uchungu ambapo hatutakuwa na future ya vijana wetu.
You saw recently they came up with some provisions under the Cyber Crimes Act, Computer and Cyber Crimes Act. I mean, it was passed. Only a few of members of parliament raised their voices against it. The memoranda that came from the public was ignored, and they passed that. So what am I saying? What we are saying is that parliament appears to be just controlled by the executive. They do exactly what the executive wants, and that is extremely bad.
Tuthie kaunti ya Taita Taveta kuria thirikari irugũrĩtie mũbango wa waki wa thukuru wa mathomo ma ũndagĩtarĩ KMTC tabarĩrie kũhũthĩra mũigana wa mirioni 250 na ĩrĩ kaunti-inĩ ya Taita Taveta. Akiaria hĩndĩ ya kĩrugũrio gĩkĩ, mũtabania wa mĩhang'o ya waki wa nyũmba cia raithi gĩcũa-inĩ John Karanja augĩte gĩkĩ nĩ kĩambĩrĩria kĩega gĩa kũguna arutwo arĩa maumĩte kaunti-inĩ ĩrĩa hatĩrĩku, ũndũ ũrĩa mũmbunge Olkano Bwire atũgĩrĩtie.
Any equipment, any accessory, kama ni mchanga, kama ni mawe, yote lazima itoke hapa. For one reason, hii pesa ya hii mradi inafaa ifaidi watu wa Taveta, sio watu wa kwingine. Lakini kama atakosa, that is okay. Lakini sio mtu nisikia ako hapa na hajapata, that is wrong. Hiyo hatutakubali. So my consultant, any IPC raised for me to pay, and there is an item for Juakali, I will not pay. Lazima watu wa Juakali wafaidi kwanza. Those items deliberate. Na rais amesema hivyo that watu wa Juakali we must support them.
Ninawaomba vijana wenzangu, kwa wale ambao mtatunikiwa nafasi, tafadhali kwenda kazini ukiwa umeweka eti umeonja, hakuna nafasi hiyo. Na kwenda kazini alafu unajipangia masaa ya kufanya kazi na kutoka kazi, hiyo hatutapendekeza. Tunataka na wewe ukipata nafasi, hakikisha ya kwamba huu mradi ni wetu, ufanyike kwa wakati, ili hawa watoto hawa warembe wetu, vijana wetu wapate kuingia kwa hizo nyumba kwa wakati ambao unastahili. Si sawa?
So, leo natoa amri, kazi yoyote ile inaweza fanywa na mtu wa Taveta. Wale wengine waende watuachie kazi sisi tufanye. Niseme nsiseme, niseme nsiseme. Na imagine hiyo naweza sema hata kwa rafiki yangu William Ruto, kwa sababu William Ruto alituletea hii miradi ili watu wetu maisha yao yabadilike. Si tupate nyumba peke yake, vijana wapate kazi, mama zetu wapate kazi.
Nayo kamiti ya kũhũrana na ungumania EACC nĩrĩkĩtie kũhonokia mũgũnda wa eka 17 ũrĩa wegotirwo kuma mũtitũ wa Karura nĩ ũrĩa warĩ minister wa hau kabere JJ Kamotho ũrĩa wacokire kũwenderia kambuni ya mũndũ kĩũmbe. Kũringana na EACC, cira ũyũ wambĩrĩirie mĩaka 14 na mĩhĩtũku kũrĩa Kamotho egwatĩire mũgũnda ũyũ mũgarũ na watho, no rĩu igoti nĩrĩathanĩte ũcokio moko-inĩ ma mũingĩ.
The Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission interacted with this case from 2007. So we have been in court for 18 years, and yesterday, on 23rd of October this year, we've won this particular case, and this parcel of the 2 parcels of land, which was later amalgamated into one, was recovered back to the public. Maybe just to give you an overview, the parcel of land behind us, which is fenced, belongs to the Kenya Technical Teachers Training College. It is less than 1 acre, and that it was the first parcel of land that was actually allocated to a former cabinet minister who was called JJ Kamotho. That was way back in the early 90s. So later, this parcel which is behind you now, which actually is part of Karura Forest, which now measures about 16 acres, was also allocated to the same individual illegally and or irregularly and illegally. So when that information came to the commission, then the Kenya Anti-Corruption Commission, not the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, we filed in recovery suit in 2007, and we've been in court since then. And it is only on 23rd of October that we were able to win this particular case. And as you were informed by the lawyer who was on record for this particular case, the 2 parcels are estimated to be about 2.8 billion worth Kenya shillings. Section belonging to the college, and the section behind us, behind you people there, belonging to Karura Forest. So when the minister was allocated that parcel of land, he sold it to a private individual. Court. The intent, rather, set up residential houses of the land. This is part of the college and also part of the Karura Forest. By our action, that individual was not able to construct those buildings that he intended to construct. So we want to reassure the public that not only forest, but all public land that is grabbed or illegally allocated to individuals will be recovered back. It doesn't matter how long it takes. Like this one has taken 18 years, but we will eventually recover it back and hand it over to the public. Now that certificate of lease, which was issued to the Gigiri Court Limited, was cancelled by the court. New lease or title will be issued to the 2 institutions, this part to the college and the remaining part to Karura Forest. As we were informed, the importance of forest conservation cannot be overemphasized or stated. This particular forest, as we all know, is threatened and by individuals because of its proximity to Nairobi, because it's part of Nairobi. Now you can imagine if one individual had put up residential houses along these 16 acres or 17 acres, what would be the value of those assets. How much would he sell? So that is why, as a commission, we are, and we will ensure that we recover all assets that are illegally allocated, whether presently or in future. And we want to, inform the public, and specifically public officials who tend to grab public property, that eventually, it may take a while, but eventually that property will be reverted back to the public, because that property should be enjoyed by the public. As you can see, the Karura Forest, people come here every weekend, every day. Now we saw people, just strolling, others jogging, others. It has a huge benefit for the people of Nairobi and Kiambu in general. So we will ensure we safeguard all public property. It doesn't matter the period it takes, but we will recover back all properties that were illegally acquired and revert them back to the owners, the public. And that is why today we are here with the Kenya Forest Service to share with them the judgment that we will also share with you, and we will now start the process.